Well, hello everyone. How's everybody doing this fine Thursday evening? Good. How's it going, Terry? How's it going, Sally? Paul? Lots of familiar faces. Any success stories that we need to hear about today? Who's closed a five-figure client this week? Nice. Snowing, huh, Dave? Anyone? Any success stories? Love to hear it. Well, we've got some amazing stuff for you guys planned today, and just like I was saying in the email earlier, we're talking about taking your business to another level. And you've heard me preach it over and over again that it doesn't make a lot of sense to go after clients that are going to pay $100, $200, when you can easily get the exact same client to pay you thousands. And I'm not talking about per year, I'm talking about per month. So show of hands here real quick. Who here, and you can just go ahead and throw a 1 in the chat box, who here would like to have clients paying them $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 a month? Look at that. Everybody. Absolutely. Sally, Stan, Keith. I mean, it's amazing, right? Duh, said MK, right? We all would. And a lot of times I think in our business, we always come back and, it always comes back to us. We always will sit back and say to ourselves, well, it's just not possible, right? Has anybody ever said that? It's not possible. What's stopping you from doing that? What's stopping you from taking your business to that next level and charging thousands? Of course, it's intimidating, right? Victor says me. Will says confidence. Yes, it's confidence. It's the fact of the matter is that sometimes we don't feel that we're worth it. But you know what? These businesses want to pay you more money because a lot of times they're going to justify what they're giving you based on how much they're spending. If something costs a lot more, usually it's a lot better, right? Most of the time, that's what everybody associates brands that cost a lot more than the stuff that you can buy at Walmart as a higher quality brand, right? Exactly. So I'm really excited today because we're going to be talking about how to take your business to that next level. And I actually I feel pretty blessed myself because I do get around and meet a lot of people. I've had some traveling. I've done a little bit of traveling. Plus, some of you guys know about Marketers Mansion we had out here in Vegas last year. Had a lot of marketers come in. Got to do some brainstorming with them. So I personally feel blessed because I get to network with high power individuals that are always looking for the next best way to take their business to the next level. And I was back in October of last year. I was visiting a couple friends of mine, Brian and Mario Brown and Brian Anderson. Some of you guys probably know him. Actually, I cut my teeth in local marketing on a lot of Brian's stuff. So I was out here. He was here in Las Vegas. I went and stepped out at his meeting at his local marketing summit, and they had this speaker that literally just blew me away. Some of you might have heard of him. His name is Jeff Smith, and he talked about this very thing that we're talking about today. And I have a special treat because I actually had a one-on-one conversation with Jeff Smith. I mean, literally, this was 6 months ago. I've been begging him for the past 6 months to, give us a couple of minutes and come over and do this for you guys and show you exactly what he covered in this live summit. Now, for those of you that couldn't afford to come out to Vegas for Mario and Brian's local summit, you're in for a treat because Jeff has put together a huge, outstanding presentation. What he's going to cover here is how to build a successful six-figure business. Who wants to build a successful six-figure business? Everyone, right? Absolutely. Look at all these excited people here. He's going to talk about who you have to target, because let's face it, if you don't know who to target, that's a big part of it right there. Who to target, how to get them to call you, right? Nobody likes cold calling. It would be much better if we had people calling us. How to put together a competitive analysis. Now this is huge, because if you have something that you can put in front of somebody that literally just helps to put the whole deal together, that's going to really be a huge game changer for you. How to close them, right? I mean, it's great if you got people calling you, but if you don't know how to close them, then what do, right? And last, and certainly not least, keep them coming. Keep these payments coming month in and month out. So I hope you guys are as excited, and I'm not going to get Jeff on here until I know everyone here is excited. So throw a 1 in the chat box if you're excited to hear from Jeff. Jeff is awesome. He's going to train you how to do all of this today. You know me, guys. You know I don't bring people on unless I know for sure they're going to bring a ton of value, and Jeff is going to bring it, and I'm going to make sure he brings it. Right, Jeff?
Right.
Hey, guys, introducing here Jeff. Like I said, Jeff has been in the local marketing business now, doing exactly what we do. He's in the trenches now for 2 years, all right? So he knows what's going on. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. He's been involved in over 16 startups, so Jeff is going to be bringing a ton of value today. So, Jeff, without too much further ado, I want to go ahead and let you take over. I'll hang out here. If people have questions, I may chime in from time to time as well, but take it away, Jeff.
Feel free to chime in anytime, Mark, and I appreciate inviting me here this evening. I'm glad our schedules kind of finally synced up. We're both very busy, and I know you've been very busy as well, and it's great to see this crowd on here tonight, and I'm happy to talk to you. So everybody get ready, because I'm not just going to talk about these things. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I'm going to cram as much information into the next hour as we possibly can get, that I can get across to you. You're going to understand how to go out and execute and build a successful business at the end of this webinar. Okay, so that is my promise to you, so let's get started. All right, let me get my screen under control. So while I'm talking, I know, and Nick, I actually saw somebody who's there from Rockingham. I can't remember his name, but Rockingham, UK. So this is going to be worth it. I know it's late over there for you, but I can guarantee that what I'm going to show you is very worthwhile, and it's going to work. It works anywhere around the world for any type of high-value transaction, client or prospect that you want to target. So everybody get ready. So let me know, though, so I know who I'm talking to, because you'll understand when I get into my 3-step sales system. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Just go ahead and type it in here so I can kind of understand who I'm talking to, and make sure that I talk about the right things when I'm talking about this. Where are you from? How long you've been in business? How many clients do you have? Are you new, brand new? What's your biggest fear? Because I want to make sure that I know you and what you're looking for, and so I can get that across to you. I am Jeff Smith. There's multiple Jeff Smiths out there. There's many of them.
He's the Jeff Smith.
I went out and grabbed Jeff. I think the Jeff Smith. I don't know if I'm the Jeff Smith, because there's so many of them. But all right, Terry says she lives in a rural area in Utah. That won't matter, Terry, and you'll see why. So, all right, let me get in here and dive into all this information. I appreciate for everybody sharing. Just go ahead and keep putting that in there. I can tell you, if you put questions in there, I have so much to relate to you that I don't really tend to look at the questions unless I actually ask you for your interaction and feedback during the presentation. But I will come back to them at the end, and then Mark may ask me something as we're going through as well. So I'll try to get all your questions answered before the night is done. All right, so if any of these questions, and these are all questions that came from my own experience in building this business. You'll hear my story in just a moment. So these are things that I thought about as I went through the transformation of going from newbie, not knowing anything about this business, to where I am today. So if any of these questions, if you can answer yes, then what I'm going to show you in just over the next hour is for you, okay? So this, if you're in the right place, if you can answer yes to any of these, and it sounds like from Mark's warm-up that you are in the right place already. So let's dive into it. So here's what you're going to learn tonight. I'm going to talk about preparing to have a six-figure business, okay, because you can't just necessarily step out of your door in an hour from now and go out and do it. I'm going to talk to you about my six-figure business model, who to target, what they want, what services they need, what they're worth, how to measure success, because I measure it in a very different way that you'll learn about tonight, how to outsource 100% of your work. I'm not an expert in SEO, website development, any of those things, social, mobile. Even though the name of my company is Local Mobile Social, you'll find out why in just a few minutes. But I'm not an expert in any of those things. I outsource all of it. All right. Then I'm going to tell you and actually show you my three-step targeting plan so that you can use that strategy to find the right targets, my six-step marketing plan to get the prospects to call you, and then my three-step sales process that I use. I only use these on high-value transaction clients because that's the only way it would be worthwhile. But the three steps to get them to want you. And a lot of times they want you in the first meeting. You're going to see and understand that and more in just a few minutes. And then how to do this in 90 days. And as a bonus, I'm going to actually show you how to put together a competitive analysis report. Okay? So let's get started. So don't blink, because I promise to show you how to build this business in 90 days, how to close up to 90% of your prospects. I'm going to show you a proven step-by-step system to guide you, because I'm going to show you a lot of examples and proof that people are using this system, and then how to overcome newbie fear. Even you can do this. Okay? And just to be fair, I am going to show you a system that you can take a look at if you're interested in that is already going out helping people be successful at the very end. But I'm going to show you the detail of the strategy starting right now. So here's my story just so you understand who I am. This is me right here. I do like to go sailing the Caribbean. I can charter my own yacht down there. I live on Lake Lanier north of Atlanta in North Georgia, up in the foothills of the mountains. That's my back deck. And this is my family down enjoying a resort trip to St. John in the last few years. So I have been successful in my life before I got into the local marketing business. I don't have the typical story that you hear about a lot of times. I wasn't sleeping on a friend's couch because I was out of money, and I didn't just dream something up that I decided to share because it was so successful. I have been in a lot of different industries. I've worked in Fortune 100 companies. I ran companies. I've owned my own company. I've been in more than 16 successful startups, both corporate-backed as well as venture-backed and self-funded. And the name of my offline business is Local Mobile Social. And then I've started to build other businesses in this space as well. So that's my background. Here's my path from newbie to success. In January of 2011, just a little more than 2 years ago, I didn't know anything about Google Places. Somehow I got on Ryan Dice's mailing list, and I got an email about Mobile Local Fusion. Some of you may be familiar with that. But I didn't know anything about it. I kind of looked at it a couple times. I watched that video a couple times. I happened to have come back, been back from California, where I was helping to run a software company out there for a couple of years. And I was looking for the next startup that I was going to do, and I ran across this email, looked into local marketing, decided it was a huge opportunity. So all of you are in the right place. You just need the right strategy and system to follow. So I formed my company in April, Local Mobile Social. It was kind of driven from Mobile Local Fusion. I wasn't sure where the money was, so I called my company after Local, Mobile, and Social to encompass everything. I got my first client, a doctor. I charge him $500 a month for Google Places and SEO because that's what I had learned at that juncture about what to charge, right? And I wasn't sure. I was brand new. I wasn't doing the work because I went out and found resources to do it, but I was very uncertain about what was going on. How much could I charge? Was I really credible in doing this? Because I'd just gotten started. I'm sure a lot of you can identify with that. In October that year, I went to the first local marketing summit that Mario Brown and Brian Anderson put on here south of Atlanta, and I got a wake up at that because I listened to a guy by the name of Josh Boxer talk about how he had transformed his business and in order to charge more money. So I listened very intently. I actually talked to him at the meeting. I left that meeting, restructured my business plan. I tore it up, restructured it, restructured the entire thing. I ended up firing the 5 clients that I had because they were all getting my services for $500 a month. I told them I'm no longer in the $500 a month business. I'm now in the $3,000 plus a month business. And so if you're going to continue to do work with me, you're going to have to start paying me that amount of money. Now, I had not positioned myself correctly in order to charge that amount of money, so they didn't see me that way, and they all left. But that was fine because I went out in the next 90 days and built a successful 6-figure business using the principles and the systems I'm about to show you. Okay? In June of last year, I started training people on this system just through webinars. I just hold them occasionally. That's why it's taken so long for Mark and I to get together, because I'm so busy in what I'm doing. And this past October, when Mark saw me, I was actually a speaker at that same local marketing summit, this time in Las Vegas, just 1 year away from me sitting out in the audience listening. So all you have to do is take action, follow the right system, and you too can be successful, and as successful as you want to be. And so my goal for this year is to help 1,000 local marketing CEOs build a successful business. So you're probably wondering, can anyone do this? Yes, they can. Here's one individual, Danielle Long. She posted this in our Facebook group a couple of weeks ago, and basically she said, she talks about, now she had been in business for 15 years, but she had been charging too little. She was charging less than $1,000, and she actually had, I think, about 50 clients. She was charging too little. All right, she started following this system. Within 4.5 weeks after understanding the system and implementing it, she landed 7 new clients for $14,500 a month. She's gotten more since then. She upped her price to $2,000. Then she upped it to $2,500. Now she's up to $3,000 because she got confidence that in fact you can charge that amount of money if you position yourself correctly and follow the right strategy. Julian had been in business about a year, and he had some low-paying clients who were basically, pains in his rear. Within 60 days, he had turned around his entire business and built a successful 6-figure business within 60 days. So he was a hard to easy business model convert. You'll understand more about that in just a minute. Oksana had been in business a couple of years. She was an immigrant. She immigrated from the Ukraine to Canada. She lives in Calgary, Canada. She had never gotten a client. She started following this system, got her first client $35,000 a year. Larry is finally making money. Larry had been in the business for a couple of years, had never gotten a client. All he'd done is shell out money. He followed this system, went out and got an allergist, $1,200 setup, $900 a month for 6 months to start. Plus he sold keyword research competitive analysis. We'll talk more about that in a minute. For $600. So he got a $7,200 payday. He states down here, being able to have my business run on its own without me bleeding out my personal checking account is huge for me. Okay, so let's get into the strategy that you're going to follow. Who to target? That's always a question. That's a question that I had when I first got into this business. Who do I focus on? What is the best niche? Well, there's lots of best niches if you just know how to parcel them out. So here's my 3-step niche finder system. It's not software. It's just a strategy and a little bit of work on your part. So you do your research on your markets. Look at the geography that you're targeting, whether you're overseas and targeting the U.S. or targeting your own country, if you're in New Zealand or Australia or the UK, or maybe you're in Spain or Russia or South America, Colombia, Asia, Thailand, Singapore, wherever you're at. Look at the market you're at, look at the type of businesses, and look at the transaction values. What do customers spend? You want to find businesses where customers spend thousands of dollars. There are thousands of businesses out there where they do that. Now that may be relative in other countries, but I'm talking about from U.S. terms, spending thousands of dollars. Then you want to calculate the lifetime customer values. How many transactions do they have over their average lifetime? Okay, because that adds up the value as well. If you've got a customer that spends $3,000 per transaction and they have 10 transactions over their lifetime, they're worth $30,000 to that prospect. Okay, now all of this will be validated later on when you actually get into conversations and interviews with the clients. So it doesn't have to be exact. You're just trying to pick the right target. And then you want to prioritize your best niches based on high values. I don't go after clients where transactions are dollars.
I have to say this, guys, real quick, because this is huge. If you're not taking notes right now, stop what you're doing. If you're on Facebook, if you're on your email, stop what you're doing. Come back over here, look at the screen, and actually take notes, because this stuff right here that Jeff is covering with you is game-changing. If you do these things that he's talking about right here, this is going to make a huge difference on how much money you bring in, regardless of what else he covers here today. So take notes, write these 3 things down, and pay close attention. Sorry, Jeff, I just had to make sure everybody's awake and that they're actually paying attention. Like, write notes down. Grab a pen, grab a notepad, and start jotting this stuff down.
No problem. Whatever you do, when you leave tonight, when you leave watching this, I want you to implement what I'm going to show you. Whether I help you do it or you do it on your own, I want you to do it. I want you to be successful. Okay? So this being successful means starting with the right targets. Anywhere in the world, the right targets are people that have high value transaction businesses because they have money to spend and their clients are worth a lot of money. And when I show you later on about the 3-step sales close system, you're going to understand how to relate what they're gaining in terms of value from the transactions that you're helping them get and how that relates to the investment they're making in your marketing. Okay? And the light bulb's going to go off when I talk to you about it. That comes at the end. All right, so here are just a quick list of some high value niches that you probably already know about. Doctors, dentists, lawyers, roofers, assisted living, auto dealers, they spend lots of money. I mean, auto dealers that are large dealers, they could spend $100,000, $200,000 a month on marketing because they need transactions. Funeral homes, I've got somebody who's targeting funeral homes down in Texas. They make on average about $9,000 per funeral, and they are a large business that's having about 100 funerals a day. That's almost $1 million a day. A day. Do you think they have money to spend on marketing?
Yeah, I don't think people are going to stop dying anytime soon.
I mean, that's a quick list that I ran out of space. Okay, there's tons of them. They're everywhere. If you want some ideas, you go to a couple of my lead gen sites, getnewclients.com and getnewcustomers.net. All right, so let me give you some. Now these are sub niches within medical, and medical's different because of insurance, and it's different in other countries as well because of the social systems that they may have that, with relation to medical, like in Canada and the UK. I know, but let me tell you something that exists everywhere. And here's how you have to target the medical market. You have to separate the practices into 2 buckets. There's the need bucket and the want bucket. Okay? If you're sick, you have an accident, you have a disease, you need treatment for something, you need medical attention. You don't want medical attention. No one wants to be sick or have an accident or have a disease. You need medical attention in those cases. Okay? If you want to lose weight, you want to look younger, feel younger, you want to get rid of your crow's feet around your eyes, you want to straighten your teeth, you want to have your teeth brighter, You want to keep your feet from hurting. Those are situations where you want medical attention or dental attention. That's the difference between need and want. When you want something, you're willing to pay more for it, and the people that are providing the want services have to spend money in order to get people into their practices, because they're not being just handed to them by referrals with the insurance or hospital system. Okay, so they have to generate transactions, and they're worth thousands of dollars. So that's how you target the medical niche. There's a list of some good targets there. There are others beyond that. There's hundreds of different types of medical specialties and medical related businesses. It's a huge business all over the world. Okay, and a lot of countries have doctors that are targeting residents of other types of other countries where they're trying to basically bring tourists into their country to have medical procedures done at lower cost. So that's another market if you don't live inside the United States. If you want more ideas, there's another lead gen site there, getnewpatients.com. So does everybody understand the targeting strategy? Does everybody understand it for the medical sub-niches, the difference between need and want? And there are want services even in the UK, even in Canada. Okay, you just have to understand the marketplace that you're going after. Okay? This strategy works for any type of business. It's not just medical. It's not just legal. Think about what I told you. Do your research. What are businesses that have transactions worth thousands of dollars? It could be 1,000. It could be 100,000. Think about the lifetime value of those customers who generate those transactions. How many transactions do they normally have? If you get a roof, roofing is that's worth, a roof is $30,000. Depends on the size of your house and the area of the country you live in the United States, but it costs a lot of money. Those are high value transactions, and roofers generally have a lot of other types of services they sell, so the lifetime value of those clients could be in the tens of thousands of dollars, let's put it that way. So that is your strategy. So what do they want? Here's what they want. This is what I want you to think about, how these type of businesses, what they want. They don't want SEO. They don't want mobile websites. They don't even want their own website. They don't want pay-per-click or social media or any of that other stuff. They just want to run their business, and they want to get new patients, get new clients, and get new customers. If they're in the hospitality industry, they want to get new guests. That's what they want. They want more customers coming to them by phone, by website, walking through their door and spending money. That's what they want. They want a simple way to measure success. They don't want reams of data. They don't want to really understand what it is that you're doing for them and how you're getting it done. They want to see the bottom line. I've run a lot of businesses. They want to see the bottom line. How many new transactions did I have this month, and how much money did they spend? That's very simple. And they have to be involved in that. They have to report that to you. It's not you reporting to them. It's, here's how many transactions came through our door and how much money did they spend. Because that will tell you what the return is on the investment that they're making in your marketing. They just want to make more money than they spend. I've had clients tell me, Jeff, I'll pay you $1 million a month if you'll make me $2 million a month. They don't care about the investment. They care about the return on the investment. Okay? Here are the services they need. Now, the ones that I have colored there, these are services that I created out of thin air. I don't think you see anybody talking about them on the Warrior Forum and JD Zoo and everywhere else. These are things that I created as part of this system to make it more efficient and to make more money. The marketing profitability audit we'll talk about in step 1 of this 3-step sales system. Keyword competitive analysis, you'll understand that better when I actually walk through the competitive analysis report, but I get $1,000 plus for keyword competitive analysis. I've gotten as much as $3,000 for it. And you'll understand why when I show you the competitive analysis report. Competitive analysis consult, that comes in step 2 of the meeting, and I'll show you, you'll understand that better when I show you the competitive analysis report. Reputation analysis, something that I've added, because what good is it to get more visibility for a client if they have a poor reputation or a non-competitive reputation? They're wasting their money. They have to pay attention to it. It is the most critical first thing to look at when you're servicing a business. Competitive conversion analysis, I charge $500 or more a quarter for that. It's something I created because one of my clients said they thought there was something wrong with the website that I built for them. We were 4 months into their SEO campaign. They were getting 50 new clients a month, which is worth about $200,000 a month. They were spending $5,000 a month with me. So they were getting a great ROI, but they wanted to have 200 new clients, patients a month. It was actually a medical weight loss business. So I created this report, which I sold them for $500 after I got done with it. And what the report said was that basically this was a brand new business. They'd only been in business for about 8 months. Their competitors had been in business for up to 16 years. 5 to 16 years was the range. And most of their traffic, anywhere from 25 to 96% of their traffic, was coming from people searching for them by name. They weren't searching for medical weight loss doctor, or I want to lose weight. They were searching for the name of those competitors because they had been around longer, they had more brand recognition and equity, and they had more referrals and more repeat business. And I sold them the report for $500, signed them up to start doing it once a quarter, because I also looked at the call to action on everybody's website to make sure they were staying, in basically ahead of the competition, which of course ultimately means they would spend more money with me. And they did, because I told them, you don't have a problem with visibility, you don't have a problem with call to action. What you have is a brand recognition problem. You're going to have to spend more money to overcome it. And so they did. Affiliate management is something else you can get into. If you find you've got clients that have e-commerce sites, which I did, I generate $2,000, $2,500 a month. It costs me $400 a month to outsource it. All I do is forward the report that I get from my resources, my outsourcer, weekly, and then answer questions. So these are the type of services that they need. All right, so what are they worth? Well, I accept, this is a picture of my PayPal account, my business account, one of them. I take payment by merchant account, by check, and by PayPal through invoicing. And I put this up here to show you the types of figures that you can generate from clients. These are all individual clients. Here's a couple of $1,000 keyword research projects, and here's one of the website conversion audit charges. Now, whenever I've learned that whenever you put up money, you got to talk about it and have a disclaimer. So here's my disclaimer. Results are not typical, but the only guarantee that I can make to you is if you don't take any action, you're not going to make any money. That is guaranteed. The key to success is taking action, following a system, and implementing the system, adjusting to what happens out there because you're taking action, make modifications, and be successful. All right? So let's talk about the best 6-figure business model. Now, there's 2 business models in this industry. There's the hard business model, and there's the easier business model. Now, I started out, you heard me tell you my story, I started out with a low-value client business model. What's wrong with that? It's a hard 6-figure business to go after. It takes a lot of those several $100 clients to build a big business. They can be a lot of headache because they don't have a lot of money. They think $300 is their last $300. They want to make sure they get their maximum value for that. And here's all the problems associated with being in that business. or a lot of you in that type of business today, if you've got clients? Yep, we got a lot of people saying they got that type of business. I've shown you some other people that had that type of business model as well. That is not the right business model to go after. All right, so high value clients, that is the right business model. That's the ones I was telling you how to target. When you go after high value clients, you need fewer of them. You're making more money per client, so you've got a lot more cash flow. You've got money to spend. If you have a blip that shows up, like Google Panda, Google Penguin, fewer headaches, much higher value positioning, and higher credibility. I'm going to show you how to get credibility if you've never had a client. If you're not an expert in any of this stuff. Today, I'm not an expert in SEO or website development or social, mobile. I'm an expert in none of those things. What I am is an expert in building a successful six-figure business without being an expert. I've done it a number of times, and I think a lot of you are in that same position. You're not experts. You may be trying to become an expert, but that isn't the answer. The answer is to partner with experts, follow a system, and then you take advantage of the expertise that your partners have. All right, so that is an easier six-figure business. Now, so here's the easy 90-day six-figure business model. Get prospects to call you. I'm going to show you how to do that. Get 3 clients, any kind of prospect, anybody that's in the high-value transaction business, averaging $3,000 a month each, outsource 100% of your work. Within 3 months, you've got a six-figure business. That's the simple model. 3 clients, $3,000, 3 months. How many of you would like to have that business in 3 months from now? Because I'm going to show you how to do it in just a minute. Okay, I'm getting lots of yeses. So I hope you're all watching. I hope you're not watching TV or looking at Facebook or anything else, because we're getting into the meat of it now. So let me give you something to blow your mind. Okay, so after you wrap your mind around a six-figure business in just 3 months, $1 million business, just need 28 clients at $3,000 a month, and you got $1 million business. 28 clients. You're outsourcing all of it. You're focused on dealing with the clients. Maybe you've got some salespeople by that time. You get $1 million a year business. If you up that average to $5,000 a month, it just takes 17 clients to have $1 million. So there's your $1 million business model. A lot of people, that's what it takes to really get them excited. It's a 7-figure business, not a 6-figure. All right, so now let's dive into getting prospects to call you. Anybody get excited by that 7-figure business model? I see a hell yeah, of course. 1,000 times yes. Okay, well all right, so here we go. Getting prospects to call you. The system works. So here's my 6-step marketing system. All right, I'm going to show you each of these and talk about each of these very quickly as we go through this. I get excited about talking about all this, and I'm already 40 minutes into this presentation, so let's jump into this. So step 1, for those of you who feel like they need more credibility, maybe you don't have any clients. Now remember, I created this because I ended up firing all of my clients. So I had no clients. Okay? So whether you have clients or whether you dreamed about having clients or whether you've trembled at the thought of talking to a client, I'm sure you probably thought about, what do I do when they ask me who my references are? Who have I done this for before? Okay, at that point in time when I came up with this, I couldn't point to anybody because I had fired them all. So what did I do? I got a video about my business that talked about me, put it on YouTube, got it ranked in about 4 days. It was for plastic surgeons, Alpharetta, Georgia. I think if you go back there, I haven't looked at it lately. I think if you go back, it's generally right there at the top of page 1. It's all keyword driven. You pick a market. It doesn't have to be, if you're in New York City, I wouldn't pick New York City, pick a borough or something. Pick something that's relevant to your target market and get a video ranked so you can point to it. You point to it in your emails that I'm going to show you, the direct mail that I show you. You're going to point to it and be able to point to it and say, I know what I'm doing because I have a video about my business ranked in some keywords that are worth something to your market. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Step 2 is create an irresistible offer as a hook. And the irresistible offer is a market competition ebook. You'll understand that when I actually, this is basically what this is a competitive analysis report that's done for the market wide, meaning plastic surgeons in Alpharetta. That's the market I chose. It's not Atlanta. I didn't try to get my video ranked for Atlanta plastic surgeons. I just picked an upscale suburb of Atlanta, north of Atlanta, that all of the plastic surgeons would love to get clients from. The next thing is the marketing profitability audit. That's what, and we'll understand that. I'll explain, how you use these as we go on. But you got to create an irresistible offer as a hook. It's not I do SEO. It's not I do websites. It's not I can create a mobile website for you. It's none of those things. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm going to offer you value first. You're going to understand the significance of this when we get into the 3-step sales close system. Step 3 is soften the market with emails to build a relationship and positioning. And basically, you're pointing to the video that you have ranked if you need that for credibility. Look what I did. I have my video about my business ranked in these strategic keywords. You're also talking about your hook. You're not talking about your business. You're not talking about what you want to sell to them. You're trying to get them to meet with you, to give them a copy of your market competition ebook, because they're going to learn something about why it is that their competition is stealing their patients, clients, or customers. Because the people that are not on top of the market, they know that they're not getting their fair share of all the patients or customers coming through the internet, so they're going to self-select into your sales funnel. And then you're going to offer to conduct a marketing profitability audit. Why? Because you're going to learn about that business, but more importantly, if their marketing's not profitable, they're going to self-select into your sales funnel. Does everybody understand what I'm doing here? What you're doing with this strategy? Step 4 is you get past the gatekeeper to the prospect. And how do you do that? Using the famous $1 bill lumpy mail letter with your irresistible offer. This works because the gatekeeper gets this letter, which is hand addressed directly to your prospect. They open it up. There's a dollar bill stapled to it. And then there's your offer, not to sell them, give them a free mobile website or any of the other stuff that they get every day of the week. I'm a consultant who's a specialist in your industry. I have this valuable information about your competition that basically says why it is they're winning in the marketplace, and by reference why you're not, because you're not listed in this. You're not one of the top competitors. And also, I'm willing to come in as a consultant and conduct a marketing profitability audit. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't mention anything about what I do and what I sell. Whether it's you're doing websites or social or whatever it is you're doing, you don't talk about that. You're giving them value. You're getting them to self-select into your sales funnel. Step 5 and 6. You tell them in this letter that you're going to call them on a certain date and time to schedule a meeting, whether it's over the phone, by Skype, by conference call, whatever form or fashion that you need. Somebody talked about they're in the middle of Utah. You're going to do it by phone. That's fine because you're a specialist. You're giving them value. You're not trying to sell them something. Just wait till I show you the feedback that people are getting using this strategy. You call them on a certain date and time. If they're not there, you leave a voicemail. You're calling to schedule to give them a copy of the free market competition ebook and to set up a meeting for their audit. That's how you get people to call you. Now you have to place a call out to them because you've told them that you're going to. But that's okay because you're not calling to sell them anything. You're calling to give them something, to give them information and to help them understand why it is that their marketing's not profitable, because they're spending money, because you've already done your due diligence to identify the type of niches that are spending money, because they make thousands of dollars per transaction. Is this making sense to everybody? Does this seem logical to you as to why this works? I'm getting lots of yeses there. All right, so it works for any high-value niche. Rose Antonio, she used this mail template, sent it out to some auto dealers she lives in Virginia, I think, somewhere in the East Coast. She got a VP of Toyota in her area responded to her. But she wasn't trying to sell him anything. She was giving him value. He self-selected into the sales funnel. Tamara got a vein doctor. $10,000 to start, $6,000 a month for 3 locations. The strategy works. Don't be a salesperson. Be a consultant. Offer value and get the prospects to self-select into your sales funnel. Now you can use that strategy exactly as I've outlined it. You can skip straight to the direct mail. You can even skip straight to the phone calls and just call out and offer information on the market, on the competition, and to conduct a marketing profitability audit. There's lots of variations, but the one thing that's consistent is that you're offering value to get the prospects to self-select into your sales funnel, and then you're going to follow this 3-step sales system, because when you follow this system, you're going to get the prospects to want you long before you even talk to them about what it is you have to offer. They're going to want you. All right, so the first meeting, the objective is to identify their pain. Okay, all 3 of these meetings are all about pain. You're going to you're going to give them a copy of the market competition ebook, but the primary purpose of this is to interview them. You've got a questionnaire that guides you through interviewing them because you want to learn about their needs. You want to get them to see you as different, establish your role as a consultant. You're an expert. You're not like anybody else they've talked to in marketing, local marketing. You're not trying to sell them anything. And if they ask you, because I've had clients, 10 minutes into meetings say, look, I know I'm going to do business with you. So just tell me what it is I need to do. Tell me what we need to do about these A, B, and C. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not going to discuss that. And here's an analogy that you can use that works every time, because everybody's been to the doctor. When you go to the doctor, and here's your response. You've been to the doctor, right? When you go to the doctor, when he walks into the waiting room, does he walk in, shake your hand, write out a prescription, tell you to show up tomorrow for the operation? No, he doesn't do that. Because first he's got to do is he has to ask you questions. Why are you here? What's wrong? Tell me where it hurts. Does this hurt? Then, depending upon your level of pain, he may schedule some tests. He does blood work. He sends something out. Maybe he does x-rays, EKGs. Depends on what type of doctor he is. Okay, so he's going to do some tests. And then he's going to get the test back, and then he's going to discuss the test with you, and then he'll talk about the treatment. So I'm not here on this first meeting to write you a prescription and tell you that you need surgery. I'm here to learn about your business so I can understand you and your needs. And just like you're interviewing me, I'm interviewing you, because I'm only going to decide to partner with somebody to dominate this particular market that I think is committed to dominating it and understands what we're doing and what we're getting into. I'm not interested in short-term relationships. That's not how I built my business. I'm very busy. So let's continue with our conversation in the interview. That's how you deal with that. Okay, from a very strong point of reference, you control the frame of reference, and you start setting expectations regarding ROI, because you're talking to them about who their ideal client is, what they're worth, what are their transactions worth, how many transactions they have, etc. All right. This is Mickey Bates, a little story that he posted on Facebook. Mickey was an executive chef before he got in the offline marketing business. He said he didn't want to go from 80 to 100 hours a week, so he sold his 3 restaurants instead of opening a 4th. And then he became a consultant in that business, but he got tired of trying to create a new job for himself every 3 or 4 months when a consulting gig was over. So he got into offline marketing. Hadn't had any clients until he started following this system. He told me, Jeff, I forgot, because I interviewed him on the phone, on Skype. And he said, I decided to forget everything that I had ever learned about selling and just follow this system. And here's the response he got in the first meeting. This business owner was wondering all week what he's going to try and sell me, and he didn't try to sell him anything. He just gave him value. He already wants Mickey. The first meeting, hadn't talked about solutions. Everybody see the power of this? All right, so meeting number 2, illustrate, educate, and agitate them about their pain. And this strategy related to competitive analysis can apply to, you can apply this strategy to any type of service that you're offering. I'm just talking about this particular thing about SEO and local search. Very high profit business model. In the second meeting, if you're new, you can cover any missed audit questions or get clarifying questions answered. Okay? You're not trying to walk in there, shake their hand, and sell them something. You're taking your time because you've targeted the right type of market. They've self-selected. They have a problem. They would not have called you and agreed to meet with you if they didn't have a problem. So the purpose of this is to use the competitive analysis report to illustrate their pain, to educate them about the nature of their pain so they can understand it to the degree that they can appreciate what it is you're going to do for them and why it is that they need to do it with you. And when you show them what's going on out in the marketplace with this, they're going to get agitated. They're going to get mad. They're going to get mad at themselves. They're going to get mad at missed opportunities. They're going to get mad at the people that they just got through working with, or maybe they're even still working with them and it's not working out. They're going to get agitated and they're going to want to take action. That's what you want them to do. You want them to get in a frame of mind that they need to take action. They want you to come back to tell them what the solution is. You're still not discussing the solution. Okay, remember the doctor analogy. I ask you what's wrong, find out the pain. Now I'm going through the test. We're discussing the results. Then we'll talk about the course of treatment. Another validation of the power of competitive analysis, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. Jeffrey Howard lives up in Northern California, used it to close a wine client, a wine manufacturer. $8,500 setup fee, $1,500 a month. It triggered a got-to-take action response because they saw that the competitors were beating them up. It agitated them. That's what you want. So now let me show you competitive analysis. So get ready, because I'm going to show you exactly how to do this in the short amount of time that we've got. I'm already 55 minutes into this. So the top competitors have more of the right votes. This comes from SEO Moz Open Site Explorer. There's lots of graphs in there. You only want this one. And you're going to outline these links. Now, there's no tool that will tell you exactly how many links a website has, and that's not the point. What you're looking for here is the relative number of links, because whatever inaccuracies these tools have, they applied equally to every website URL that's in them. This was my prospect, who's actually a client at this juncture. This is the top performer in the market at that point in time. My prospect at that point in time had about 4,000 total links. The top performer had 10 times that number. This performer had 20 times that number, but they weren't the top performer. So the point of showing them this is that more links, but more of the right links, are what you need, because they're considered votes by Google. Google needs help in determining who should be shown at the top of the page for different search keyword terms, and they look for votes from other websites to help guide them. That's all you have to tell them. It has to be a simple explanation in layman terms. More links, but more of the right type of links, and they'll get validation and understanding of that through the rest of the slides. More of the right type of links is what is the key, because that equals votes. This next series of slides comes from SEMrush. This is the top performer at that point in time. This was my prospect. They had 6 times the number of visitors to their website in that month, which I would point out that that probably means they got 6 times the number of ideal clients that you, sir or ma'am, are after. Okay, that's the power of generating more traffic to your website as you get more patients. In this case, it was this is a medical client. So more of the right votes equals more traffic, equals more new patients, clients, customers, whatever type of business it happens to be. Now remember, this particular competitor had 20 times the amount of votes or links, but they only had about 2.5 times, or 1.5 times actually, the number of visitors. So it's not just volume, it's the right strategy. All right, so you're telling them that you understand this. It's pretty simple if you understand the basics of it, and you're the expert in the relative sense, not that you have to be the expert, because you're partnered with experts. I'm going to come back. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell it now so I don't forget it. If you get the question, whether you're a newbie, I don't care if you've never had a client, you get the question, who have you done this for before? Who are your references? Can you show me where you've accomplished what it is that you are telling me that you can accomplish for me? And here's your answer. Now the key ingredient here is that you outsource, that you basically partner with outsourcing companies, not individuals, not people on Elance or Guru.com or Odesk, with companies. My partners, my outsourcing partners, are companies that have been in business for 15, 16 years. So my answer to that question is always the same, even though I have clients now. At that point in time, I didn't have any clients. I made this up as a strategy to deal with that situation because I had no clients. But now it works so well, I use it anyway. And so the answer to that question is, Every one of my clients is under NDA. That's non-disclosure agreement. We don't reveal anything about our clients, even that they are clients. Because all these businesses out there that tout that they are servicing these various clients, the only one that's advantaged by that is the business itself, not the client, because the client is putting the client at risk. And why is it putting the client at risk? Is because essentially these companies are in the business of, manipulating the system to the client's advantage. So there's no reason to advertise that to their competitors, nor to the different sources that they're basically manipulating, like Google, etc. So we don't reveal anything about our clients. What I can tell you about my business is that between, and these are, listen closely, collectively, my partners and I, meaning my outsourcers, collectively we've been in business for 15, 16 years. We have hundreds or dozens or whatever who you're partnered with. We have dozens or hundreds of employees all over the world. We have thousands of satisfied clients all over the world. So all I can tell you is that everyone's under NDA. We've been in business collectively for a long time. We've got lots of employees to do this work and thousands of satisfied clients. I can't tell you who any of them are. And if that's not good enough for you, then we just need to end our meeting right here. And I've spent enough time now understanding this particular market that I'll just go talk to the top competitors in the market. You got to be able to say it with a straight face, or say it just as I've said it over the phone. Because you mean it, because you have spent time. You do know where the opportunity is in this market. And if it's not going to be with the person you're talking to, then you'll simply go down the road, because they can't implement it on their own, but you certainly know how to. All right, so free search traffic is cheaper than paid traffic. Why did I put that up there? Because I want my particular business model, I want to charge them for SEO and for local search, because I make more money from that, and it's better for them anyway, because it's building their equity in the marketplace as opposed to renting clicks. That doesn't mean that I'm opposed to adding in paid traffic on top of it, or sometimes even using the money that they're giving me to generate some incremental traffic if there start to be some machinations going on with their organic search. But what this slide shows them is that top competitor got $20,000 worth of free traffic that month because they had invested in their organic search. So it gives them a dollar figure that are far larger than what I ultimately am going to charge them. Keyword expansion. Why do I show them this? Because again, I'm selling them, in this particular case, these competitive analysis talks about is basically setting you up to sell SEO and local search. Why do I show them keywords? Because I want them to understand that after we focus on the first 10 set of keywords, then we're going to come back and focus on another 10 and another 10 and another 10, because this competitor got that advantage on them in terms of the traffic and the number of new patients, partly because they had more votes, which I'm going to take care of, but also because they are ranked on more keywords. They got 3.5 times the number of keywords. Okay, so and I'm pointing out to them, and part of the strategy behind this is that we have to choose the right keywords. Okay, and so when I ultimately in the third meeting give them an option of what my solutions are, one of those is a $1,000 plus keyword competitive analysis report. Okay, this one slide helps them understand at a very basic level, that's illustrated with graphs and lines or whatever form that you put it in, that they need to choose the right keywords. They need to be able to choose the right domains to get votes from. Very simple to understand. Okay? The final slide in this comes from Majestic SEO. The purpose in this is not, it only has one purpose. I want them to see the slope of these lines going out over time. This is a long-term effort. I'm not interested in projects. I don't do project work. I partner with people that want to dominate their market. And to do that, you have to invest money over the long term. Because top competitors never rest. The top competitor, who happens to be the red line, they're not going to just sit there when they finally figure out that they're starting to lose market share to us because of what we're doing. They're not just necessarily going to just sit there and let it happen. They're going to fight back. So this is going to be a battle, and it's a long-term battle. Okay, that's the purpose behind this slide. It's not to explain what backlinks are, referring domains are. I want them to see this picture. It's an illustration that educates them that this is long-term. And I've already, by simplifying this for them, they understand that I'm the expert and that this is a long-term investment. And that's the impression that I want them to have. You'll get a chance later on to listen to Alex Mutt. Alex I met at that first local marketing meeting in October of 2011. I told him I had come up with the idea of competitive analysis, but I hadn't partnered it with the rest of my system. And I explained it to him, what I was doing with it, the idea behind it. I shot a video for him, gave him a copy of the template, and he went out, and you'll hear from him tell you how he went out in the next few months and closed 27 out of 30 clients using competitive analysis. So that's the power of competitive analysis married together with my three-step close system. The final meeting is to solve their pain. They're not going to be able to hardly stand it until they get to that final meeting, because now you've showed them you're different. You understand their business. When you get them to start talking and answering those questions, a lot's going to come out. They're going to feel much closer to you. They're going to see you as very different. You're not a salesperson walking in trying to sell them something. So that's when you can clarify any final audit questions, review any audit findings, and present your options. And that's when you close the sale, because by this time, you're an expert. You understand their business. You've gotten them to understand the value of what you're doing, because if they don't understand what you're doing to a certain level, they're not going to be good customers. And if everything doesn't go perfectly, and it won't, then you're liable to lose them. So you want them to be good customers, to have a certain level of understanding, and see you as a partner. And that's when you sign them up and collect the money. Let me give you some more quick results. Jeffrey Sepiran, he was a pilot for a regional airline. He'd been in the military before that. He went out and sold his first doctor client $6,000 a month. Larry Davidson, I told you, you can skip straight to just calling people with that, your irresistible offer of competitive analysis and the marketing profitability audit. Got 6 yes responses. So let me again ask you, does all of this work? Because that's what it is. You have to take action. Does it look worth it to you? Well, again, here's my results. Believe me, it's worth it. It transformed my business. I went from having 5 clients at $500 a month, then 0 clients, to 6-figure plus, making $5,000 a month, and whatever I charge on a monthly basis, I charge a setup fee the equal amount I stick it in my pocket. It's instant profit. But it's not just my results. And now what I want to show you, I told you I was going to show you how I can share my system with you. It's called the Medical Marketing Mastery System. It's a business system in a box. I didn't build 16 successful startups by not understanding how to build systems. Even doctors get the value of this. Now, it's called Medical Marketing Mastery System because I talk about how to target those specific doctors, but it can be used for any type of high-value transaction client. I have lawyers, I have roofers, I have other types of clients than just doctors. But the medical industry is a huge opportunity. This was a recent guy who just joined me, Malcolm Dayton. He posted this in Facebook. He's a licensed psychotherapist. He's now just a few days into the program. He's basically changing his business. Dr. Mark Smith is a general surgeon. You'll get a chance to listen to his comments later. So here's a system. I'm not like anybody else that presents these webinars. I just jump straight into it. I hope that you've seen, I've shown you exactly how to do this, the basic elements of how to do it. If you decide to join me in what I'm going to offer you tonight, you get my step-by-step six-figure system. Everything that I've talked about, you got 8 videos along with a 51-page training manual. Okay, you get the entire strategy word for word together with videos, me talking you through the various elements. You get my 6-step marketing system to get the prospects to call you. That's a 34-page marketing strategy manual. There's 8 marketing templates, scripts, and tools. The audit questionnaire that I talked about is in there. You can edit it. The market competition ebook template is in there so that you can edit it. The 3 client acquisition emails are all there so that you can edit them to put in your contact, your offer, your targets. The dollar bill direct mail template also in there. Warm callback script in there. All these things are editable. You also get a action steps checklist. Okay, there's one also for the strategy level so that you know what steps to take. And there's also one here for the marketing system. And there's 3 videos covering how to implement the system as well. But that's not all. You get my 3-step sales closing system, identifying their pain, illustrating, educating, and agitating their pain, and solving their pain. This is how you separate yourself from the pack. This is how you get them to want to do business with you before you've even talked about solutions. And this is how you get them educated so that they understand what it is you're going to be doing for them. You can take this system and apply it to other types of services as well. You just have to understand the principles behind it. Now I want to quickly give you a guided tour so you understand what it looks like inside. So I'll spread it out there so you can see it. So here's the home page, and you get there's a video tour so you understand what's in here because there is a lot in here. Here's all the training. Here's all the bonuses. Outsourcing. I give you all of the outsourcing resources that I myself use. I've broken it down into types of services and the outsourcing resources that are available for those types of services. Some of them are comprehensive in that they provide a big variety of these services. Some of them are very specific. And if I don't have anybody who provides that, there isn't anybody in there today. If I find somebody in the future that I think should be in there, they'll go in there. Okay? Here is our Facebook group. I just wanted to show you that. This is a priceless asset because this is Larry Galavez I told you about. This is a priceless asset, because this is where people come and talk about and share, what's going on in their business, and getting essentially everybody in here. Here's Malcolm Dayton. This is his post. Everybody in here they're your board of directors. They're going to help you understand how to overcome your challenges and help you celebrate your successes. So here's just one of the marketing outsourced resources that are comprehensive. You get your own white label version of this. You get case studies. There's tons of case studies and reports, industry reports. There's all kinds of additional training, a website gallery that you can use to show your clients if you choose to be in the website business, a client hub that you can use to interface with your clients. They'll prepare proposals for you. They'll conduct analyses. There's all kinds of additional analysis that they conduct, and these are the types of services that they will outsource for you. You don't want to do any of this work. Outsource it. Use the resources. You manage the outsources and manage the clients, and go get more clients and collect more money. That is your job. Your job is to work on your business, not in your business. You get my local CEO mastermind that I just showed you. There's a lot of people that have been in this business. There's a lot of people, and there were a lot of valuable information, and they love to help you. And as a bonus, you get my competitive analysis system. So you get my cut and paste report template, and there's two videos: how to present the strategy, talking you through it just the way I just did, and how to prepare the report. So there's a side-by-side video. On one side is the template, on the other side of those three different services, where I show you how to go get the information and cut and paste it in there. As a fast action bonus, because I love people that take action. That's how you become successful in any type of business. As a fast action bonus, I interview, and I continually interview people that are successful when I see them post. And I don't know of everybody's success. I only know if they contact me about it. But I interviewed Daniel Long, and I interviewed Julian. And you'll get to listen to those interviews. They're MP3s that you'll get access to if you're one of the first 50 action takers. That's your reward. It's a long conversation with them about their story and what they've done, and getting into specifics about how they accomplished what they did and what they plan to do going forward. So as a summary, you get competitive analysis how-to training, how to overcome challenges using this Facebook mastermind group, frequent bonus Q&A webinars, 100% done for you outsourcing resources, and fast mover success interviews. So now it's time to talk about total system value. Usually there's slides up here saying this is the price for this, price for that, price for this. I don't have any of those prices because I don't sell any of this stuff individually. I talk about it in terms of value the same way that I'm training you to talk about value when you're talking to your prospects. Is it worth $5,000, $2,500? Does it even have a value? Well, let's look at some reference points for that. Top 10 franchises investment for 2013, here they are. It ranges from $31,000 to $13.5 million. These red figures are the average expected income for franchisees that purchased Subway, Supercuts, and McDonald's. Six-figure business earnings. Okay, that's what the goal is, right? Everybody wants to have a six-figure business. That's why these people have purchased these franchises. So what is it worth to have a $150,000 a year income? It's worth an investment of $85,000 to $260,000. $200,000 plus, $100,000 to $200,000. $500,000, $1 million to $2.4 million. That's what this $500,000 a year income was worth. It was worth an investment of $1 million to $2.4 million. I'm talking to you about making a six-figure business too. Is it worth $2.4 million? These are Julian's results in 75 days. This is a copy of his bank account that he sent me. He deposited $27,000 within 75 days between 9/11 of last year and 11/27 of last year. So what's my training worth to Julian? What should he have paid for that in order to generate $27,000 in 75 days because he took action using this system? Danielle transformed her business, went out and got an additional $174,000 a year in 4.5 weeks. So what should she have paid to generate that kind of return on her investment? Larry's finally making money, $7,200 payday over the next 6 months. First time he'd ever gotten a client. He's now actually putting money into his account instead of spending money. So what's my training worth to Larry? Here's some more buyer reviews. Heather says, your course is the missing piece of the puzzle based on real-world business strategies. Well worth it, Ryan says. Well worth the price and beyond, Joan says. What's my training worth to them? These are all buyers. Here's some more. Michael West. Every day for that matter is the best. Awesome training. Amazing step-by-step system. Used a lot what I learned from you, better than most I bought. What's my training worth to all of these people? Here is my offer. I don't sell this on the Warrior Forum, except, well, I actually do sell on the Warrior Forum. It's $997 on the Warrior Forum. I've actually made some sales on there. But that is not my primary go-to-market strategy. My primary go-to-market strategy is webinars with industry experts that have relationships with the people that they work with, like Mark. Because I want you to understand the strategy of what I'm doing and see the membership. If it's not right for you, it's not right for you. Hopefully you'll take away some value from what I've shown you tonight. It's one payment of $174, which is an instant $20 discount, or you can make 2 payments of $97, one now and one in 30 days. Here's the buy link, bit.ly, bit.ly/Helton Mark. Mark Helton was already taken, so I just flipped it around. So Helton Mark, I think everybody knows Mark's name and can spell it. It's all lowercase. This is the buy link. There's a 30-day refund period. I'm not interested in taking your money. If for whatever reason it doesn't work for you, it's not what you want to do after you've taken a look at it, or maybe something happens in your life. I get emails from people from time to time saying something bad has happened in their life and they need the money. I'm happy to refund it. And they always say that they'll be back. So this is my offer. What's it worth? It's generated a lot of money for people that have taken action. But I want to help 1,000 people, local marketing CEOs like everybody on this call tonight. I want to help 1,000 of you to be successful and build a successful 6-figure business. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you read, if you like, what Danielle had to say about how she went out and got $14,500 in new customers after she transformed her business. She's been in business for 15 years. She's transformed her business now. I'll let you read that while we take a look at the questions that are in here. And without even looking, I know what types of questions. I've only done a few of these webinars, but I know what types of questions that probably some of you are asking. So I'll go ahead and try to answer them. The first thing you're probably wondering is, can you do this if you're a newbie? Yes, you can. I've shown you how to do it. I've shown you how to use the power of partnering with outsourcing resources that are businesses that are going to be there tomorrow, have been for a number of years. It's their responsibility to worry about whether their employees are going to show up tomorrow to do the work. And they're successful at doing that. So you don't have to be an SEO expert. You don't have to be a mobile expert. You don't have to be an expert in any of those things. I'm not. You want to be an expert at building a successful business without being an expert in any one particular thing. Your business, your expertise comes in implementing a strategy that aggregates all the right resources and follows the right system. That's your expertise, and you've got my system to guide you. A lot of you may be still working at a job, and you're trying to do this part-time. Well, I want you to just think for a second. How are you going to transform your life and move away from a job and build your own business if you're trying to do it a few $100s per client at a time? Realistically, it's not going to be that easy. Wouldn't it be much easier if you were making several $1,000s per client? If you only needed 3 clients at $3,000 a month in 3 months to have a 6-figure business, wouldn't that be an easier business model for you? It's the same services that you're selling for a few $100s, except that you're positioning it the correct way, and therefore you're able to get thousands of dollars. And you're targeting the right markets that have money. You're getting them to self-select because they have a problem. You're approaching it differently and positioning yourself as an expert, as a consultant, not as a vendor trying to sell them something just because that's what you have to sell and they should buy it. You approach it differently, you get different results. It'll be much easier. If that's your situation, it's going to be much easier if you're going after it a different way. And we got a host of people proving that it's a success as long as you take action. I've had people that have bought this course. I started last June. 6 months later, they finally came back and said, now I'm ready to get started, Jeff. And then they became successful. You have to take action. You can take action tomorrow. You might be 6 months before you can take action because of illness or something else going on in your life. But this system works regardless of when you take action, as long as you do take action. Now, and we know that somebody, if you're still on the phone with me, from the UK or Australia, New Zealand, I've got people, students all over the world. All those countries I mentioned before all have students in them, either targeting in their own markets or targeting here in the US. It can be done anywhere in the world, targeting the right people, following the right system, adapting it to your own personality and your own situation. It's the principles that are what are important. Choosing the right markets, making the right irresistible offer to get your prospects to self-select into your sales funnel, and then walking them through this 3-step system to get them to want you. And you also get to make sure that they are in fact the right clients that you want. I had no problem turning away clients. I had somebody, a doctor that owned a clinic or several clinics here in Atlanta who contacted me through LinkedIn, and he wanted to meet with me, and I told him that's not how I did business, because now I just send them the audit questionnaire and say, I want you to answer these questions, and then we'll set up a phone conversation to go over them. He didn't want to do that. He just wanted to meet with me, and I said, we're just not going to be able to do business. I walked away. I'm sure that was a multi-thousand-dollar a month business, but that's okay because I don't need it. You guys have the gold, and they need the gold. And you have to understand that and have that perspective. So now I think I've answered 3 of the sort of major questions. I'm going to take a quick look. We've been at this for an hour and a half. We've got a few more minutes to take a look at questions. Again, it's bit.ly/Helton Mark. All right, so I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm not going to scan back up through here and try to find your question. If I haven't answered it and it's burning, then go ahead and put it back in there, and I'll try to answer it in the next few minutes. Do you recommend, Ricky's asking, do you recommend working in your hometown or local area? It doesn't really matter, Ricky. I mean, if that's the area that you understand the best, there's plenty of potential prospects there, regardless of where you live. So I would start there. You know, like I said, I don't really want to meet with clients because I'm busy with everything that I'm doing. But if it's a big enough client and they were here local, I would go meet with them. If it was a large enough client, I'd fly somewhere to go meet with them. But start with what you know first. Do the outsourcers provide social signals and keep up the latest Google updates? Yes. That is their job. They wouldn't be in business. They've been in business for a number of years, and they couldn't stay in business if they weren't on top of this stuff. Those are your experts that you lean on. If your client asks you a question and you don't know the answer about something, that's okay. That's not your job. You're not the one sitting there doing posts on blogs and creating links and putting posts in social media. You got a team of people doing that. You're the owner of your company. You're not the guy or girl behind the scenes doing all the work at night, staying up. If you're doing that, you know who you are. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You've got people that do that. So I don't know the answer to that question. I'll find out, and I'll get back to you. Or, why is that important? What has that got to do with what we're trying to do here, which is to get more tummy tuck patients that are worth $12,000 a month or $12,000 per transaction? That's what we should be focused on, right? I mean, that stuff changes all the time. Social signals may be, important this week, and next week is no longer important. So you let me worry about that. This is too good to be true. Is there an upsell? Well, Scott, there's two options for you. Everything that I've shown you and everything I've talked about tonight is all in there for that price. And the price, again, is 2 payments of $97 or 1 payment of $174. But if you're the type of person that needs more hand-holding, if you're not really sure where to start, if you've never built a successful business before, if you'd like extra coaching from me, for $97 there is a success coaching system where you get an email from me once a day, every day, for the first 90 days to guide you through step by step. Here's step 1. Here's the links to material that's relevant to your executing step 1, and here's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So tomorrow you're going to get an email about step 2, and you'll get the links and my advice about how to execute step 1 and step 2. So if that's something that you need, that's beneficial, and it is beneficial to a lot of people, but you don't need it. If you're a go-getter and you go out and do it, Danielle went out and did it. She studied for a couple of weeks and implemented for the next 2.5 weeks. She did it on her own. But if you need that kind of help, you need my coaching in that way, $97 gets it for you. If you need additional coaching on the 3-step closed sales system and how to position any type of internet marketing service to charge more money for it, I've got a sales training boot camp on the 3-step system, each of the 3 steps, and also how to charge more money for your services. That's another $97. So no surprises. Those are the 2 incremental offers that you'll have an opportunity to choose. This price is only good at this point in time. I'm sure a number of you, somebody's asking there, how long is this good for? It's going to be good for 72 hours. Today is Thursday night, so it'll be good until Sunday night. You've got until Sunday to make a decision, to take action, to change your business model, to go after the right type of targets with a proven system of success. And I'm bent on helping 1,000 people accomplish that success this year, and I hope it's one of you. Or I hope it's you, I should say, not just one of you. I hope it's all of you. But if it's not all of you, then I hope you've taken away something that will help you be more successful in whatever business model that you're pursuing. Can you target LinkedIn, and have you tried it instead of the lumpy mail? I know that there are a number of people out there who have tried it. I mean, I can tell you that I was notified at the beginning of the year that my profile on LinkedIn was in the top 1% of most searched profiles in all of LinkedIn. So I get people searching my profile every day, and I get leads from it. Can you go after, specifically going after LinkedIn? I'm not an expert on that. I don't have time to do that. That would take my time unless you've got an outsourced resource to do it, and I don't have that kind of time. I choose to go after implementing where it takes a minimal amount of time. Scott B says, unfreaking believable. This is easily a $2,000 deal. Once you get inside of it, Scott, you're going to see it is worth $2,000. There is a ton of content in there. And I don't say that to scare you. I've tried to answer every conceivable question you may have to try to help you, and if that's not enough, for $97, you get my advice every day. This is what you need to do. And here's the links to the material, and only the links to what you exactly need to execute this step by step. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. I got in, thanks. How long do I have to take you up on your OTO? You got to buy it when you take the transaction. It's a one-click upsell. You can buy it later, but not at that price. That's basically half price. So you can come into it. There's no scarcity here. You can always decide that you need my coaching, and you can always come back and purchase that. Or you can decide, hey, I really want Jeff's help on how to do the sales, these three-step sales system. I want to make sure that I get it right the first time I go out. You can always get access to that, but you only get access to it at that price when you make the purchase transaction. Can a part-time marketer be successful with this system? Yeah, sure you can. You can also go into the Facebook group and try to partner with people, because there's other part-time marketers. Partner up with people. You do this, I'll do that. You've all got the same system. I'm going to do this, you do that. Partner up. So you can multiply your time. Time's one thing you don't get more of. It disappears every day. Please describe the second one-time offer. It's called the Business Acceleration Level. Okay? It's a whole host of advanced techniques, additional closing techniques, additional marketing techniques, how to get $1,000 for keyword and competitive analysis, how to do the competitive conversion analysis, how to use Amazon, how to use YouTube. There's a whole bunch of, there's, I don't know, dozens of additional information, and my 90-day success coaching system. There's nothing else like it out there. Every day, you'll get an email from me saying, starting it with 0, here's how to consume this information, and here's how to build your business. Here's a system to follow. You don't have to guess. You don't have to hunt around. You don't have to look at it and go, where do I start with all of this? I'm going to tell you every day and give you my advice on how to get this piece of it done. Sometimes I give you longer than just one day. It depends on what the issue is. So it's basically like me calling you up every day as your partner and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do today. And here's the links to the material that you need to go do it. So if you need that kind of assistance, if you need that kind of guidance and coaching, it's there for you. I created it for that reason. I have hundreds of people going through it. Can the daily coaching be shared with my sales girl and use it to train her? Of course. I don't care. I'm trying to help your business. I'm not aimed at just trying to help the individual people inside your business. You're the CEO of your business. You can share it with whoever you want. Did you show us a white label website? I showed you the screen of the white label website. I'm not going to get into all that. It's extensive. It's huge, so I don't want to get off into that. You've got your outsourced resources that you need. You don't have to use the ones that I'm showing you. You can use whoever you want. I just made them available for you if you need them. Larry says he's in. If you're going to join me, if I'm going to see you in Facebook, because the first step 0 is to sign up, is to friend me on Facebook so I can get you into the Facebook group and get you started. If you're in, let me know. So I'm going to look for you so I can let you in later. Office Pirate is my identity on Facebook. You want to friend me first and request to be added to the Facebook group. Larry's in, Terry's in, Kurt's in, Scott. Scott says he's tried 3 times to keep getting an error message. It works, Scott, so I'm not sure what the problem is. If you can't get in tonight for whatever reason, I'm going to mute myself here so you don't hear the clacking in my keyboard. I'm going to put my email address in here, and you can contact me. You can contact me at medmarketmastery, medmarketmastery@gmail.com. If for whatever reason you have a problem, we'll help you through that. So give me a second to type this into the chat. Okay, I've kept everybody. I hope everybody who's awake overseas, you're still awake and you've gotten value. I appreciate the fact of the time that you've allocated with me tonight. I hope you've gotten value. I hope that I delivered on my promises. I showed you something that can be implemented and build a 6-figure business for you in as little as 90 days. Other people have done it less. Some people have bought the system and come back 6 months later and implemented it because of whatever is going on in their life. I'm interested in helping you build a successful business. I'm not interested in just taking your money. If it's not right for you, don't worry about it. If there's any burning questions, let me know what they are. Otherwise, I'm going to hand it back over to Mark and we're going to wrap up. Michael says, fabulous. Are the bonuses available on Sunday? Yeah, the bonuses are available through Sunday, as long as you're one of the first 50. That's for action takers. Action takers are rewarded in life. I just had a birthday. My parents gave me a little plaque that's here in my office, which you can't see, but it says, "Good things happen to those who go for it." You want to listen to those 45-minute plus interviews with those people, then you need to go for it. You need to take action. You will not be disappointed. You may decide it's not for you, or you got to have your $97 or $174 back because it means it's a life or death situation. But you won't be disappointed by what you see. I deliver on my promises. You have to pay for outsourcers right up front? No, I pay. You don't have to pay for it up front. You get paid up front. You pay on delivery. Okay, so you're going to make, you've got the float. You pay once they execute. You pay in arrears. You get paid up front in advance. How much cost average outsourcers per client? You're going to aim for 60 to 85% gross margins. I can't tell you. The answer to that question is like asking me, how long is a piece of string? It depends upon exactly what it is you're doing for them, which outsourcer you have, but your business model should be built on having 60 to 85% gross margins. You're not pricing based on cost. You're pricing based on value. Why did I show you how much money a lot of the local marketers had made with the system? Why did I show you the top 10 franchises and how much people were investing in those franchises? For business systems is what they got. They got a business system in return that would generate them six-figure incomes. Those were all points of reference to help you understand the potential return on the investment that you make tonight. This is your investment. If you want the 90-day success coaching, if you want me whispering in your ear about how to implement this next step, and here's what we're going to do tomorrow for the first 90 days, as soon as you're ready to start, then it's $97 more. If you want my personal coaching, 4 different webinars on my 3-step sales system, it's $97 more. Do you need that? Either of those to be successful? No. You can take what is right here on the screen and go out and be successful. But if you want my coaching, on the sales training, there's an incremental cost for that. It's not much. Certainly not in return for the value. $174,000 for Danielle, $27,000 for Julian, $7,200 for Larry, first client he ever closed. Oksana had $35,000 annual contract for her first client. Do you think they're worried about the money that they laid out for this system? They're not worried about it. All right, Nick, it's 1 a.m. here. Nick is from Rockingham, so there's Nick in Rockingham. He needs to go to bed, otherwise he'll be up all night. So, Nick, I hope you join me. What is your Facebook ID again? It's Office Pirate. Just look for Jeff Smith. It's facebook.com/Office Pirate. That's my combination of selling and being in business. Dudley says one-time payment, good value for money, thanks. So it looks like that's it. Mark, if you want to wrap up, we're almost
guys
here.
This was a great webinar, Jeff. I really appreciate it. Lots of amazing comments here from the group. I could see a lot of passion from the people that stuck around, and I want you to know that when Jeff says this offer is going to be coming down on Sunday, he means it. And as a matter of fact, I thought I heard you saying something about the price going up. So I'm shocked that the price is, 174 today, because I could have sworn that this was like a $300 or $400 product.
Well, the price on Monday is $997.
There you go. So $997 if you wait until Monday. So, don't procrastinate. I can definitely say that the information you covered isn't, fluff. There's a lot of great information just from what you covered. So I'm very thankful for, having you here today, and a lot of other people as well. Yeah, Scott said it's still a killer deal at $997. Guys, I dropped the link in case you haven't seen it. It's in the chat. You got one more chance before we end this call to jump on over and scoop this up. Like I said, it's $174. You can't beat that today for that one-time payment. And or if you have to make the payments, you can get it for $97 and then make the other payment in 30 days. Get those bonuses. You're not going to regret it. I'm going to go ahead and do my best to get this replay out to you as quickly as possible for those of you that want to see it again. Other than that, thanks again for coming out, Jeff.
It was my pleasure, Mark. I was glad to met a lot of new people here that I haven't seen before. And I love, hey, it was people like you and Mario and Brian that have shared a lot of what their success has been, is one of the reasons why I'm here. I mean, where else, think about what it costs to go to college nowadays, or try to get in other types of businesses like the 10 that I showed you, versus the information shared out on the Warrior Forum and JV Zoo and other forums and the Marketers Mansion. I mean, no one's investing tens of thousands or millions of dollars in order to build a six-figure business. And so I'm just doing making this offer at this price so I can turn around and do a good deed the same way that people have helped me. I'm trying to help everybody on here.
Yeah, you know what? When you showed those numbers for, what it costs to invest for a McDonald's or Subway or some of those franchises, it's amazing what people will pay for such a small return on their investment. And the fact is that what you're getting for $174 today, it's mind-boggling. I mean, I don't know why some of those people that, open up those chains or these franchises don't open up their eyes to some of these other possibilities. This is amazing. You've put together a killer system here, Jeff.
Well, I appreciate that coming from you, Mark. I appreciate you inviting me here. I'm glad that we got our schedule synced up, and I'm glad that for everybody who's still on there, Nick has gone to bed, but he says he's going to buy tomorrow. So, hey, you wouldn't be with Mark. You wouldn't have shown up on this webinar if you weren't trying to build a successful business.
I've got a killer software that's coming out in about 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks. Hot Prospector, which a lot of you guys have seen, that will go really well with everything that that you just saw today. So pick this up before it's $1,000, and watch out. Watch your email in the next 5-6 weeks for Hot Prospector, and put these two together, and man, you've got yourself a very easy, duplicatable business. So again, Jeff, thanks so much for coming out. I'm going to go ahead and close this webinar down. Everybody watch out for the replay, and remember, you have until Sunday at, what is the time it closes? Midnight?
Midnight.
Is that Eastern or Pacific?
Midnight Eastern.
Eastern. Okay, so everyone who is on the Pacific Coast, you're screwed. You only have until 9 o'clock. But everybody else that's on the East Coast, you've got until midnight. So midnight, Sunday, grab this before it's gone, and we will see you on the inside. Thanks again.
Thanks a lot, Mark.